What if everything you're chasing, everything you're losing sleep over, everything you keep thinking is out there in the future, was never out there at all? What if the version of you who has it all, the money, the peace, the success, the love that never fades, what if that version already exists, right here, right now? You've just been taught to look with the wrong eyes. See, most people believe life happens from the outside in, that if they change their job, find the perfect partner, make more money, then they'll finally feel safe, finally feel free, finally feel enough. But that's the illusion. The truth is this: your external world is nothing but a mirror, reflecting the assumptions you hold within. Not the things you wish were true, but the things you believe without question, the identity you've accepted as real, whether consciously or not. You are not chasing a goal, you are chasing a state of being. And here's the twist: that state is already available to you, the second you claim it. Not by force, not by begging, but by assuming it as natural. Feel it with me for a second. If you already were the version of you who has it all, what would you think about when you wake up? How would you walk into a room? How would your energy shift if you truly knew it was done? You don't manifest what you want. You manifest what you are. And that's the great secret. The shift doesn't begin with action. It begins with identity, with feeling, with becoming it in silence, until the world can't help but follow. So again, I'll ask you, who are you being right now? Because that answer, that quiet, honest answer, is shaping everything around you. Pause for a moment. Close your eyes, if you can, not to escape reality, but to return to the only place it's ever truly created. The mind thinks, but it's your feeling that impresses. It's your state that moves the pieces of the world into form. You could visualize all day, repeat affirmations until your voice cracks. But if deep inside, you're still feeling lack, that's what you'll see. Because feeling is the signal, the blueprint, the magnetic pull. It's not about convincing the universe, it's about convincing yourself. When you feel the desire as already fulfilled, when it no longer feels like something to get, but something that's already yours, the universe has no choice but to reflect it. But most people miss this. They try to get the feeling from outside circumstances. It's try to get the feeling from outside circumstances. They wait for proof before believing. But this path is reversed. The feeling must come first. Can you feel rich before the money hits your account? Can you feel loved before the message arrives? Can you feel safe, abundant, chosen, even when the world hasn't shown you proof yet? Because when you do, you are no longer reacting to life. You're creating it, and something incredible happens. Your nervous system calms. Your actions flow from confidence instead of desperation. You stop chasing and start attracting. Because now, the world is mirroring a different you. One who knows, one who feels, one who doesn't ask, but assumes. This isn't about pretending. It's about relaxing into the truth of who you already are, before the lies, before the doubt, before the world told you it had to be hard. It doesn't. Assume it's done, feel it as real, and watch the world bend to the frequency of your conviction. Not because you forced it, but because you finally became it. There is a moment, subtle, almost invisible, when something inside you shifts. You stop trying to make it happen. You stop needing signs, proof, validation, and instead, you begin to assume, not as a technique, not as a strategy, but as a quiet knowing that lives in your bones. I am. That's the whole key. Not I will be, not I hope to be, but I am. I am wealthy. I am loved. I am successful. I am whole. Not because the outside world says so, but because I've decided. And that decision, that assumption, creates the world you move through. See, assumption isn't wishful thinking. It's the substance of reality before it becomes physical. You don't need to see it to believe it. You believe it, and then you see it. The old version of you, they waited, they doubted, they asked, when will it happen? But the new version, they know it's already done. They walk differently. They speak with calm certainty. They carry themselves like someone who already has it. And the world, being only a mirror, reflects it back. You'll notice the shift first in small ways. The way people respond to you, the opportunities that start showing up, the synchronicities that feel like whispers from the universe saying, yes, keep going, it's working. But more than anything, you feel different. You wake up with peace. You go to sleep with trust. You're no longer living in lack. You're no longer chasing, because in your inner world, it's already done. And from that state, your thoughts change, your actions align, and your reality begins to mold itself around the new identity you're now living from. This is the power of assumption. It is not effort. It is embodiment. It is not force. It is frequency. You don't have to fight the old story. You simply stop feeding it. You don't fix the past. You create the present from a higher truth. And that truth is simple. You already are who you desire to be. Now feel it, own it, live from it, and let the world respond to you. The moment it feels normal, that's when it becomes real. Not dramatic, not forced, not some euphoric explosion of manifestation, but calm, natural, ordinary. In the most extraordinary way, you don't chase, you don't question, you simply are. When you first imagine the life you want, it might feel far away, like a dream, just out of reach. But something magical happens when you persist, not with effort, but with conviction. Eventually, what once felt impossible starts to feel familiar. You try it on in your imagination so many times that it stops feeling like fantasy and starts feeling like home. That's the secret. You become at home in the reality you desire. It's no longer strange, no longer a stretch. It's yours. You walk into the room as the version of you who already has it. You make decisions from the identity of I am, and the outer world simply catches up. Manifestation isn't about shocking the universe into giving you what you want. It's about becoming so internally aligned that the universe has no choice but to mirror you. Think of the version of you who's already there, the one who already has the love, the money, the peace, the freedom. How do they move? How do they think? How do they react when things don't go to plan? They don't panic. They don't doubt. They remain grounded because they know who they are. That's what you're stepping into, not just a manifestation technique, but a new state of being. You don't wait for it. You normalize it. You claim it in the quiet moments. You rehearse it in your mind. You feel the ease of it flowing through you, as if it's always been this way. And eventually, it is. People will ask how it happened. You'll smile, because you'll know it didn't happen. It unfolded from within. You didn't force the flower to bloom. You simply became the soil in which it had to grow. That's the power of naturalness. When it feels natural, it shows up, because the subconscious only creates what it accepts as true. And the moment your desire feels normal, the work is done. You don't chase reality. Reality follows you. It bends to your identity, to your assumptions, to what you accept as already true. Most people are trying to change the mirror without ever changing the face that's looking into it. They fight the reflection. They struggle, hustle, strive, but the mirror only shows what is within. That's the trap. You think it's out there, the money, the love, the opportunity. But it was never out there. It was always responding to the internal script you were repeating over and over again. Not the affirmations you say out loud, but the quiet feeling you carry all day long, that baseline emotional tone. That's the real prayer. You don't manifest what you want. You manifest who you are. So the work isn't in trying harder. It's in relaxing deeper, dropping the armor, stepping into the identity that already has. It doesn't have to feel like striving. It can feel like remembering. Remembering who you were before the world told you who to be. Before you inherited doubts, fears, and limitations that were never yours to carry. The truth is, there's nothing missing. You don't need to become anything. You just need to return to what's real inside you. That version of you who walks in certainty, who doesn't second-guess their worth, who commands the room without even trying. They exist. Right now. Not in the future. Not when things finally work out. They're already alive in your imagination. And your imagination isn't fiction. It's the blueprint of reality. When you assume the feeling of the wish fulfilled, you plant the seed, and that seed doesn't bloom when you panic. It blooms when you rest, when you trust, when you know it is done. That's the shift. You stop asking, "Where is it?" And you start saying, "Of course it's mine." You feel it before you see it. And when you do, the world reorganizes. People show up differently. Opportunities appear where there were none. Coincidences become patterns, and what once felt impossible becomes inevitable. Why? Because you didn't just change your thoughts, you changed your identity. And when identity shifts, everything follows. What if you stopped trying to get it and started walking like it's already yours? What if you dropped the waiting energy, the hoping energy, and stepped into the knowing, that quiet, unshakable knowing, not loud, not desperate, just solid, just still, just done. Because that's what changes everything. When you show up like the version of you who already has it, you stop asking questions and you start giving answers. People can feel that energy. It's different. It doesn't beg. It doesn't chase. It doesn't audition. It simply is. The one who already has love doesn't seek validation. They give love freely, knowing it's never running out. The one who already has wealth doesn't stress over the next dollar. They move with the ease of someone who trusts their flow. The one who already lives their dream life doesn't wonder if it's coming. They're too busy living it. In here, you can become that version, right now, without waiting for the outside to catch up. Because the outside is always behind. It reflects your old beliefs, your past assumptions, your expired fears, but your inner world. That's now, and now is the only place creation happens. Not in the future, not someday, not if. Right now, in this breath, in this moment, you can shift, not by force, but by decision. You decide, I am that version. I am the one. I am no longer hoping. I'm claiming. And as you hold that, as you wear that identity like skin, the world has no choice. It bends, it molds, it complies. Not because you forced it, but because you remembered who you are. Creation doesn't respond to effort. It responds to certainty. The kind of certainty that doesn't need proof, because it is the proof. That's the power you've always had. And the moment you stop looking for signs, is the moment signs flood your reality. Because you're no longer asking, you're embodying, you're no longer trying, you're becoming. And that changes everything. Everything in your outer world is a reflection of one thing: your inner law. Not the law written in books, not the rules you've memorized, but the law you've declared as true within. If your inner law says, "I always struggle to get ahead," then life, obediently, brings more resistance, more closed doors, more almosts. But if your inner law shifts to "everything always works out for me," then the universe reorganizes, it realigns, it mirrors that new decree. Because the universe doesn't judge, it doesn't ask questions, it doesn't care if the law you hold is empowering or defeating. It simply reflects it. You are the legislator of your own reality. What you believe to be law becomes law for you. That's why two people can live in the same world, yet experience completely different realities. One is ruled by lack, the other by abundance. One waits for proof, the other walks in faith. So the real question isn't, when will it happen for me? The real question is, what law am I living by that keeps postponing it? Because the moment you rewrite that inner law, the outer conditions will follow. It must, not out of magic, but out of mechanics. This is how consciousness works. It outpictures itself through form. Whatever you're most convinced of is already becoming visible. So if you want to change the story, don't fight the characters. Don't battle the scenes. Rewrite the script. Write at the source, your assumption. You don't need to force life to bend. You only need to stop repeating the law that keeps it rigid. Speak the new law in silence. Carry it in your body. Feel it until it becomes normal. I am loved. I am supported. I am wealthy. I am chosen. Repeat it not to make it true, but because it is true. Once you declare it so, and once that declaration is sealed in feeling, the universe, like a perfect mirror, reflects it back. No effort, no chase, just alignment. So check your inner law, not with your thoughts, but with your life, because the world is already showing you what you believe is true. And when you finally align with the version of you that holds only empowering truths, reality becomes soft, obedient, effortless, because you stopped negotiating with doubt and started ruling with conviction. You might think your thoughts create your reality, but it's not just thoughts. It's feeling. Feeling is the engine behind the manifestation process. It's the invisible force that breathes life into every idea, turning dreams into reality. You can think about abundance all day long, but if you don't feel abundant deep inside, your world won't reflect it. Why? Because feeling is your subconscious mind's language. It's the signal you send out before any action, before any visible change. Your subconscious doesn't argue with your thoughts. It only accepts what you feel as true. So when you feel lack, worry, or fear, that's the blueprint your subconscious follows. It builds your life to match those feelings. But when you deliberately choose to feel joy, gratitude, and success, even before you see it in your life, your subconscious works tirelessly to bring that feeling into form. Feeling is not a passive emotion. It's an active declaration, a sacred command you give to your reality. Imagine feeling so deeply that the universe can't help but respond. Imagine the power of living in the end, feeling your desired reality now, not later. That is the secret, not hoping, wishing, or trying harder, but feeling as if it is already done. When you feel this way consistently, your outer world will have no choice but to match your inner state. So don't just think it, feel it, live it, be it. Because feeling is the ultimate creative force, the heartbeat of manifestation. Now that you understand the power of feeling, it's time to step deeper, to live in the end. What does that mean? It means fully embodying the state of already having what you want. Not someday, not when conditions are perfect, but right now, in this moment. This is where most people get stuck. They think, I'll be happy when I achieve this. But that mindset traps you in waiting and wanting. Living in the end breaks that cycle. It rewires your mind to accept your desire as reality. Close your eyes and imagine you already have the job, the relationship, the money, the peace, the success. Feel the emotions that come with that reality, the pride, the gratitude, the calm confidence. Don't just imagine it as a future possibility. Feel it now as if it's already here. When you do this, your subconscious no longer perceives your desire as something far away. It becomes your present truth, and your reality begins to shift, aligning with that truth effortlessly. Living in the end is not wishful thinking. It's a deliberate, confident assumption, a state of being that magnetizes your desire into your life. Keep practicing this. Make it your daily ritual, because the moment you start living in the end, you start becoming the person you need to be to receive what you want. You are no longer chasing your dreams. You are already the dream come true. Now that you know how to live in the end, the next step is persistence. True manifestation isn't a one-time event. It's a continuous, unwavering state of assumption. You must hold your feeling of the wish fulfilled without letting doubt creep in. Doubt is the enemy of creation. It's the whisper that says, maybe not, or not yet. But when you persist in assuming your desire is already real, you send a powerful message to your subconscious mind. This is my reality. This is who I am. Your subconscious does not question or judge. It simply acts on what it believes to be true. If you keep returning to that feeling, if you keep rehearsing that state of having, your subconscious begins to manifest it in your life. No matter the external circumstances, no matter how long it takes, your persistence breaks down resistance. This is why many give up too soon. They lose faith before their manifestation arrives. But you will keep the flame alive. You will keep returning to that feeling again and again until your desire is undeniable reality. This unwavering belief is the true secret weapon. Persistence in assumption is the bridge between desire and manifestation. So commit to it. Decide right now that you will never let go of the feeling that your wish is already fulfilled. Keep that flame burning bright, and watch how effortlessly your reality transforms. Faith is so much more than just hope or wishful thinking. Faith is a profound, unwavering inner knowing, a deep certainty that what you desire is already yours, even if your senses haven't caught up yet. It's a silent power that doesn't shout or demand. It simply knows. When you combine persistent assumption with this kind of faith, you create a magnetic field of energy around you, a force so strong, it begins to pull your desires into your life like a powerful current. It's not about forcing or struggling. It's about aligning so completely with your vision that resistance naturally falls away. Faith silences the voice of doubt that whispers not yet, impossible, or too late. It calms the restless mind that wants proof or guarantees. Faith anchors you in the certainty that your manifestation is unfolding right now, even if you cannot yet see it. Think of faith as a muscle, something you can develop and strengthen each time you choose to believe. Despite the absence of physical evidence, you flex that muscle. Each moment you return your focus to the feeling of the fulfilled desire. You build unwavering trust in your own creative power. The challenges, the delays, the waiting, they become opportunities to exercise your faith, to deepen your commitment to your vision, and to prove to yourself that you can hold steady no matter what. Faith is your lifeline through uncertainty. It's the invisible thread that connects your imagination to reality, your inner world to your outer world. Without faith, your imagination remains a wish. With faith, your imagination becomes your reality. You don't have to see it to believe it, but you must believe it to see it. This is the essence of living in the end, holding fast to the truth of your fulfilled desire, even when the world tells you otherwise. So cultivate your faith every day. Treat it like the most valuable treasure you own, because it is. You now hold the keys. You understand how to live in the end, how to persist in assumption, and how to cultivate unshakable faith. But understanding is only the beginning. True transformation begins when you step off the page, when you move from theory into practice. Your power to change your life is already inside you, waiting, ready, eager to be awakened by your belief. So start right now. Feel your wish fulfilled. Return to that feeling again and again throughout your day. Let it be the melody your mind hums beneath every thought. Manifestation is not a race, it's a journey, a sacred unfolding of your deepest desires. One small step at a time. Celebrate every sign, every synchronicity, every small victory, because these are confirmations that your reality is shifting. If this message has sparked something inside you, a flicker of hope, a surge of conviction, or even just curiosity, let me know in the comments below. Share your biggest desire right now. Write it out, claim it boldly. When you speak your desires into the world, you're setting the wheels of manifestation in motion. And if you're ready to deepen your understanding, to receive powerful guidance, and to fuel your daily motivation, subscribe now and join this community of creators. Together, we will unlock the unlimited power of your mind, master the art of assumption, and bring your dreams to life. Remember, your outer world is a mirror of your inner belief. Believe boldly, assume confidently, manifest effortlessly. Your new life, your true life, your dream life. It's waiting for you to claim it. Step into it now.